When referees make mistakes, they tend to do so in the most epic and tragic manner imaginable. Their mess-ups are so bad that you can't help but facepalm and say, bruh, seriously. It's a whole new level of questionable calls that will leave you wondering if they had money on the game. First on our list was in the 2021 NBA Finals. You would think the NBA would assign the best referees to ref the finals, but this one ref had his mind somewhere else.
Stolen, 3-on-1 for the Bucks. Holiday, foul.
Jrue Holiday goes up for the layup and gets contested by Devin Booker. And by contest, I mean Devin Booker gives Jrue Holiday a hug.
I mean, the foul is clear.
And I don't know, Devin Booker and Jrue Holiday were close like that. And the crazy part was that the ref allowed it. Fans and Bucks were angry with the no call because it would have been Devin Booker's 6th foul. And I guess the power of friendship can make a ref turn a blind eye. Another game where the refs missed a crucial call was when the Rockets were playing against the Spurs. The Rockets were robbed of 2 crucial points in the 4th quarter when a successful James Harden dunk inexplicitly went uncounted. Harden went up for an uncontested dunk and made it, or so nearly everyone thought. None of the 3 on-court officials ruled it a made basket. They played unfolded while the Rockets were in the midst of blowing their 22-point lead. Following 2 overtime periods, the Spurs emerged victorious with a final score of 135-133. It's unreal that something as straightforward as "did the ball go through the rim?" is unreviewable. It seems like the Rockets were robbed here, just like Fred VanVleet robbed them this offseason. Moving on to another robbery, Minnesota was facing the Heat during the 2021-2022 season. During the final quarter of the game, Edwards received a pass and swiftly cut towards the basket. He rose up and viciously slammed Vincent into oblivion, sending him to the Shadow Realm, utilizing Vincent's head as leverage. As ferocious as it was, the referees deemed the play an offensive foul, granting the Heat the ball back and voiding the basket. Every NBA fan shared the same sentiment as Edwards in his post-game presser.
Is that a charge?
The Zebras, man, I don't know. If I'm refereeing that game and you dunk on someone like that, I'm not calling charge. And you at home, I'm not calling charge. I don't care if he was 3 feet above the circle. Like, I'm not calling the charge. No way.
Luckily, Ant-Man was able to help the Timberwolves secure the win despite the terrible officiating of the refs. Now, let's take a trip down memory lane to a more vintage era of basketball involving the big fundamental, Tim Duncan. The play began with Tim Duncan attacking the rim and being called for an offensive foul. Tim was in disbelief, but moved on. Then, after a missed 3 throw by Dallas, Tim got his first technical on the bench. At this point, these calls were getting ridiculous, and you would think the refs were out to get Tim. Finally, after a foul was called on the floor against the Spurs, Tim had a little chuckle and was thrown out of the game.
As we've been showing you, Duncan's been laughing. Maybe Crawford felt he was showing him up by constantly.
This is the real reason why Kawhi Leonard never smiles or laughs. Duncan told him he might get a technical foul. Now, let's shift gears to Blazers superstar Damian Lillard. Lillard finished the game against the Utah Jazz on Friday night with 42 points, but it was the 2 points that he didn't get credited with that were the main story of the game.
His hands. With Portland down 2, Lillard splits the D, drives, and looks like it should have been a goaltend.
In Portland's 117-114 defeat in Salt Lake City, Rudy Gobert committed a goaltending block on Lillard's shot off the backboard after the no call and carried his outrage onto Twitter with his 2 famous tweets: "We don't want to hear this punk-ass shit," and "Plenty money." Flashback to the 2001-2002 playoff series between the Hornets and the Magic, where a pivotal moment led to a significant change in the NBA. There was no such thing as instant replay as we know it today until one particular moment in the series. On April 27, 2002, Baron Davis hit an incredible game-winning shot versus the Magic to go up 2-1. This is what was supposed to happen, but referee Bernie Fryer waved off the shot and the game went into overtime. Fortunately, the Hornets were able to win 110-100. However, this call was so bad that the next season, the NBA was forced to formally implement an action replay. But wait, there's more. Brace yourselves for the conspiracy theorists. Apparently, an ex-referee had the audacity to claim that the entire 2002 playoffs were rigged, and who could blame him? With calls like Bernie Fryer's wave off, it's hard not to imagine shady deals being made in the shadows. And did Bernie have some money riding on the magic? Who knows? Maybe he saw an opportunity for a little side hustle. Up next, we have Game 2 of the 2015 NBA Finals between LeBron's Cavaliers and the Golden State Warriors. The game is close in overtime. LeBron James has the ball, backs down Andre Iguodala, performing his go-to fadeaway when Iguodala swiped down on LeBron and clearly hit LeBron on his arm. I guess it wasn't clear enough for the ref staring at the play as there was no call. Dude was doing the Bird Box challenge with his blindfold on. It's like the ref had a secret bet going on, placing all his hopes on LeBron scoring fewer points than a snail in a sprint. Maybe he had some underground parlay where he bet against King James himself. Talk about having a hidden agenda. Moving on, history repeats itself with the Lakers, where they were facing the Celtics on January 28, 2023.
For James. James comes up top, gets it. James on the drive, gets in the paint, layup, missed it.
Refs decided to play a game of hide and seek with the fouls. Did you see that? God damn! It's like watching a magic trick. LeBron gets clobbered, but the referee pulls off a disappearing act and acts like there was no contact. This ref must have been channeling his inner Houdini. Now you see the foul, now you don't. As we approach the end, we have the nail-biting closing moments of a Dallas-Minnesota game. Despite two officials looking directly at the play, the referees refrained from blowing their whistles when Love attempted to make a game-tying shot, and Shawn Marion intervened by clearly making contact with both the ball and Love's arm, resulting in the shot being blocked. At that point, Dallas held a 2-point lead, and if a foul had been called, Love would have been granted 2 free throws and an opportunity to force the game into overtime. Less than 24 hours after the Wolves lost at home to the Mavericks, 198, NBA President of Basketball Operations, Rod Thorne, admitted that Kevin Love was indeed fouled by Marion, and that he should have received 2 free throws. It's definitely not the last of egregious missed calls. Lastly, we come to the infamous out-of-bounds play involving none other than Kevin Durant. Brace yourselves for one of the most mind-boggling missed calls.
It's Durant. Makes a move, lost the ball, tries to get it, saves it, saved inside, outside Curry. 2.
How the hell did you not see that? The referee had a clear view of the incident from the beginning. Kevin Durant had positioned his entire body nearly a foot behind the lane. Kevin Durant was getting popcorn in the stands, and the ref still said he was in bounds. Even Durant himself admitted the error.
Late save in bounds. Did you know how far out of bounds you were?
Oh, yeah.
Could you believe you didn't get the whistle?
I could believe it because the refs missed a lot that tonight. They missed a lot in general, so you can easily fool them.
Have you seen the video?
Yeah.
Any good that came of it, it was all the disbelief and outrage it sparked online. It was a regular season game and largely irrelevant in the grand scheme of things, but in terms of a call in a vacuum, it's undoubtedly one of the most comical refereeing moments in NBA history. Referees are human at the end of the day, and human error is inevitable for such a fast-paced and real-time sport like basketball. However, there are occasions when the calls they make or miss are so horrendous that they tarnish the very essence of the game. As we all know, the NBA is a make-or-miss league, and when crucial calls are missed, it compromises the integrity of the game. At times like these, it becomes necessary to hold these referees accountable for their actions. Now, here's a thought. Do you guys think the NBA should implement AI and introduce robotic refs and attempt to eliminate as many biases as possible? I mean, just look at when Scott Foster officiates games that CP3 are in. It's like watching a never-ending saga of questionable calls that would make you believe he has a personal vendetta against the poor guy. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed it, leave a like, comment, and of course, subscribe as we have more videos like this coming soon. We hope to see you on the next video.